Okay. Oh, it works. Yeah, it should work. Hello, guys. You can write anything to the chat if you hear me and if you see me. Oh, I haven't made an announce. Yes, announce. Oh, and this is my first live stream, so please bear with me. Announce. Yeah, it should work. So I decided to make this video. By the way, I'm making a Life in Ukraine Digest number 3. There is a playlist on my channel, Life in Ukraine Digest. In this kind of videos, I tell about recent events that happen in Ukraine and how they affect our daily life. So, one viewer. So somebody's viewing this. Okay, so let me start. You'll have the recording of this, so you will not miss anything important or interesting if I eventually say something like this. So I record, I make this video as a live stream just in order to, if somebody wants to ask a question or express their opinion, so that give them such opportunity. Okay, let me start. Let me start from kind of a far distant past. November 23, I still record, it was Wednesday. Russian military forces launched a massive attack, massive shelling, sorry, on Ukrainian energy infrastructure. It was 5 or 6 shelling, but this one was much more destructive. The recovery after previous shellings usually took up approximately 3 days. The recovery after that particular shelling took up 2 weeks. By recovery, I mean getting back to, establishing some stable schedule of rolling blackouts. So we currently don't talk about having electricity every day. We talk about having electricity at least in some predictable time and still some predictable schedule. Uh, so on my channel, you can find a video called Aesthetics of a Blackout. In that video, I show how people survived that disaster. You can check it out if you haven't seen it yet. So during the first day after this shelling, after this blackout. Yeah, here I should mention that in different regions, the consequences of that blackout were different. It says there are some problems with the broadcast, but I have no idea how to fix it. So let it be. This problem was even. Please write something in the chat so that I knew that that you hear me. That will be enough for me. What I was telling. I was telling something. During the first, in different regions, the consequences were different. I will be talking about Kiev, but in some regions like Kharkov and Odessa, the consequences of that blackout were even tougher, more serious. But in Western regions, for example, the recovery was much quicker. So during the first day, we had no basic amenities at all, except for gas. Gas supply is stable. I cannot even recall when the last time we experienced out gas gas outages, gas supply outages, I think. But we didn't have electricity, water supply, and heating. The next day, water supply and heating came back, but electricity was off approximately. In some neighborhoods, in some quarters, electricity was off for more than 2 days, 50 or 60 hours straight. So after that, when the electricity came back, we experienced serious power outages. In some neighborhoods, they had electricity for 4 hours a day. So it usually was 2 times for 2 hours. It's quite difficult, to be honest. Well, I wouldn't like to say it's a catastrophe because, as far as I know, 700 million people around the world live without electricity at all. So living without electricity 2 days for 2 days is not a catastrophe. It's rather a major inconvenience. Let's say it this way. But for some people, for disabled people, for example, or uh, for people with children, little children, toddlers, uh, and for people with electric stoves, and with children and electric stove, this is the most dangerous combination. So for them, this is a really difficult situation. So I think they would say that our situation is a catastrophe. So some people watching this, I welcome you to write something in the chat if you want. But it's not a problem if you don't. Okay. At least I see that someone's watching this. It's a great sign. So now, after As a result of those blackouts in Kiev, rolling blackouts schedule has changed. I can show you now. It looks, sorry, now it looks like this. I shared this video, this picture in YouTube, on YouTube. Well, not only on YouTube, but in all of my um, in my social networks, uh, because I was overwhelmed with emotions when I saw this thing for the first time. So as you can see, every day of the week, rolling blackouts take place at different time. It's quite an inconvenient thing. White uh, intervals indicate the time that when electricity is expected. Actually, in the description for this picture, for this table, it says that during white intervals, the electricity is guaranteed. But I recently went to the dentist during one of such white intervals, and you can easily guess what happened next. Blackout, power outage happened next, just in the middle of the procedure. So white intervals indicate the time when electricity is expected. Black intervals, those intervals with black lighting emblem, indicate the time when power outage is expected, and gray intervals mean the time when power outages are possible. Practically, it means that during the great intervals, you have electricity, but you are permanently worried that it can be turned off any minute. Okay. Before the major blackout, schedule of rolling blackouts looked like this. It's the same, but without gray intervals. I will be missing it, honestly. So nobody's asking questions, so I'll go into the next topic. I have a scenario on the second screen. Basically, I have some experience in public speaking, but I don't honestly, I don't have time, and I don't want to memorize uh, this this scenario so that it was like some presentation. Um, so it's a little hectic today. Maybe when I will be more experienced vlogger, I will be doing this more easily. So the next topic is prices. So people, of course, didn't sit back uh, during the blackout and after it. They rushed buying everything that could help him to survive during this disaster. And immediately prices for all of these things have multiplied. The leaders of this area were diesel generators. Prices for diesel generators increased approximately in 3 times. The most basic diesel generator with delivery and installation currently costs approximately $1,000. Uh, it's the cheapest option. I'm not even sure if this generator is enough for a private house, for example. Um, the generator that is enough for the private house, that is suitable for a private house, costs approximately $2,000 or six average monthly salaries in Ukraine. So it's quite a lot, guys. Uh, Prices for other goods, other similar goods have also increased. For example, um, for portable charging station, for power banks, for phones, for LED lights, no LED, LED, that lights that don't require a lot of electricity, for all kinds of flashlights, all kinds of batteries. All those things became much more expensive. Actually, yesterday when I was preparing this information for you, it seemed to me that the prices were a little lower compared to uh, two weeks ago, for example, compared to how it was 2 weeks ago. So maybe I hope I hope so that um, the market is gradually saturating with such goods, and um, buyers, sellers of those goods have to um, decrease their prices in order to compete with each other, uh, which is great in my opinion. Or maybe I just want to believe in this. Mhm. Okay, so the only thing that can compete with diesel generators in popularity during the last few weeks was uh, battery powered radio. I'll show you this thing. If I find my mouse pointer, I'll show you this thing. So it was like a new model of iPhone. You open your news feed in a social network, and every other post extols this device, battery powered radio. Even some high level officials, a mayor of some city, I don't recall which exactly, uh, some high level officials uh, called people for buying this thing to be able to receive important information from the government uh, in case of long-term power outages. Uh, it refers us to one of my videos about maintaining high morale, uh, because of power outages, people started watching less TV. And because, as I said in that video, TV was the major source of morale for many people, uh, the morale goes down. And so people not only struggling from power outages, they also cannot turn on their TV set in order to find out why they should struggling from it. Uh, so the government is looking for new waves, new means of communication with the society to overcome this, to tackle this situation. Uh, I have a picture. Yeah, I have a picture that I wanted to show you. This is a photograph, by the way, quite an old photograph. It's dated 1928. It's made so also 100 years ago. Is somewhere in the Soviet. It's made somewhere in the Soviet Union. It shows a family of peasants listening to the radio. Maybe for the first day, for the first time in their lives. Well, you can say it by the facial expression of this elderly man. In the right, I'll check if you see it. Yeah. In the right bottom corner of this photograph, you see an oil lamp, which hints us that probably those people still don't have electricity. So they already have radio, but don't have electricity. It is quite similar to our situation. And the reason why I decided to show you this picture is that it's quite an ironic that despite deprecating everything Soviet, despite hating everything Soviet, today we are going the same way. We are doing the same things that Soviet people did 100 years ago. Let me check. Okay. No questions today. Okay. That's no problem. So, last Friday, November 16, the Russian military forces executed a new shelling. Sorry. Executed a new shelling of Ukrainian infrastructure. This time, according to the news, this time they attacked not only energy infrastructure, but also heated infrastructure. But currently, today it's too early to say to talk about outcomes, about consequences of that shelling. But as you can see, we are even able to do this stream. So it seems that this time Ukrainian infrastructure recovers more quickly. So maybe our energy infrastructure, well, people who maintain our energy infrastructure, gradually adapting to current situation. Okay, that was all. That was all I was going to say today. There is no questions, which is no problems. You can ask your questions and express your opinion regarding what I was talking about in the comments for this video. As I say in the end of every video, please, if you like this video, please share it with your friends. This is the best way, and it's very easy way, though very effective to um, to facilitate the development of my channel, to support me and this type of content. So as usually, thank you for your attention. Like, subscribe, and have a nice day.